Hello everyone. I'm here to tell you that nothing good comes easy. And whatever it is that we want to achieve, we have to put in the work. And the work indeed we must put in. You see, this politics, like I've said to you people several times, we all must be politicians. There's nothing like, oh, I don't like politics, I don't do politics, I'm not a politician. All of us must be politicians. Politics is how we get the people that are going to give us governance. There's nobody that can become governor without doing politics. Neither will anybody become a president or House of Rep member or House of Assembly member or senator without being a politician. Neither can anybody be a councillor or a chairman at the local government level without being a politician. So if politics is how we get the people that are going to get into office and determine the quality of our lives, whether it's for good or for bad, then it now means that politics is something that all of us must sit down and be interested in and be very, very interested in it. A few days ago, I did some tweets, and I'm going to start reading out some of this thing. I said, this is the time for us to begin preparation for citizens with competence, character and capacity that will be sending to the state houses of assembly, that will be sending to houses of representatives, that will be sending to senate. This is the time for us to begin to build on that. And what does that mean? The legislative arm of government, I've said it again and again and again, is the bedrock of democracy. You see, the legislative arm of government is more powerful than the executive. The only thing is that the executive are the ones who are in control of money. Without laws from the without laws and approval from the legislative arm of government, the executive arm really can't do much. But the problem we have with Nigeria is the fact that some people have turned themselves to slaves, so slaves to money, slaves to Ghana must go. And so they don't do their jobs. They've turned themselves to clowns that are always clowning around and not doing their job. The legislative arm of government has oversight function, makes law, ratify treaties, are the ones who give approval for, when appointments are made. What other thing? They can hold executive accountable. So they play a very huge role in our democracy. And so if we want, I always say to people, if we want a new constitution, it's not a president or governor that will give us a new constitution. It's the legislative arm of government, both the National Assembly and the state houses of assembly. They will sit down and say, this is what needs to be done. Even when I see people who are saying, oh, they don't want Nigeria should separate, Nigeria should divide. It's still that same legislative arm of government that will decide whether Nigeria stays together or Nigeria divides, whether there's restructuring or there's no restructuring. There's no drama about it. So if that is the case, sitting by the side and saying this and that will not solve anything. We all have to be part of this politics. And so it's very important for us all to begin to, be invested. And when they talk about politics, being part of politics does not mean that everybody have to run for office. There are people that don't want to run for office. It's fine, fantastic. You can be a party member. You can be party leader. You can be an executive member or have a position there, so that you ensure that there is internal democracies in the party. Part of the problem that we have is that there's no internal democracy in our parties. So our parties are crazy. They bring up all sorts of candidates. Candidates that ordinarily should not be flag bearers, because sometimes those are people they can control, because they prefer the more incompetent ones, because those ones can easily be controlled and they can easily, continue to get money, put their hands in the common pot. So if you can have people who are a party member, you can have people who are even campaigning, helping those who are running for office. So being part of politics is very important. Back to my tweet is to say, what is this thing that we want to do when we say this is the time? From the last election, I continue and I say, from the last election, we have seen that the establishment, they do not have any strategy. The only thing they have is thuggery, violence, and money. And so we know that, looking at what happened, if not for the fact of there was rigging of election, what happened in Senegal was the same thing as what Nigerian youth did in 2023. It's just that we had people here, we had criminally minded people who went on to rig the election. So we've seen now that for sure, these people don't have any special strategy. You're thinking, oh, they've been in politics for 20-something years, they can do better. We saw what happened in 2023. Nothing. There's nothing. Ponko. You know, when they say empty barrel, that's what they are. They couldn't deliver on anything. They just rely on that violence, rigging, and what do you call it now, money. And so these are the things that I tweeted earlier, and I said we can take care of the violence by ensuring they do not have the agents of violence to use. They have people that they will pay money and, you know, make them to do violence and all of that. If those people are not, they are not willing tools, they won't have anywhere they can do the violence, because most times they themselves don't do the violence. They always engage people, you know, to do all of these things. So it's to ensure that they no longer have that access to people that they can easily coerce into doing this violence. And I said, we can take care of rigging by ensuring we collectively come out and defend our votes and let people understand the suffering after 4 years affect all those, even those that were bribed to rig. 2028 election, 2023 election, all of those people that were giving money, that they decided to turn off the INEC server, do this, not do this. How market? How much is things in the market? How much is dollar now? Whatever they gave you before, how much is dollar now? Shuttle at that time was 700 naira. Now it's over, is it 13, 14, 15? That's the thing they are talking. Is that not double? No matter how much they gave you, the value shut down is now half of what they gave you, right? Even if you say they paid you in dollars, you still have your dollars. When you change it, how much do they take buy things in the market? How much is garri now? How much is rice? How much is beans? How much is oil? How much is noodle? Indomie, how much is it? You go here where? Like I've always said, Nigeria has the capacity to deal with all of us. Everybody. Look, for that suffering, it's Turn by Turn Nigeria Limited. Everybody they hear and for body. That's one thing I like about Nigeria. You know, they discriminate when it comes to suffering. You cannot say that, oh, you are the one who rigged, so you escape the suffering. Now lie. It go show you where for here. So everybody knowing that, that's another thing. Then in terms of the money, we can take care of the lack of money by contributing to a collective pot that will be used for campaign. We must get to a place where we begin to set aside a pot and begin to contribute to it. I've been saying this for a long time. If 1 million people contribute 1,000 naira every month, that's 1 billion naira. In 12 months, that's 12 billion naira. In 4 years, that's 48 billion naira. We can use it to send a lot of people to the National Assembly, to the state houses of assembly. For me, I'm not invested so much in governor or whatever. Let those ones that have money begin to take care of it. We don't have the money yet. We'll get to a stage where we do that. But let's first of all focus on this legislative arm of government that is so very, you know, very powerful and can actually begin to, if you have people with competence, character, capacity, people that care about Nigeria, people that are patriotic, people who want to do the right thing, people who are not hungry, people who are not going to go there and be looking for 70 million naira this thing card that will be given to them, people that will have conscience, that it will prick them for them to be collecting 70 million naira in a country where people are dying of hunger, people don't even have food to eat. So when you have all of those people in there, you know, it will help us. It will help us a lot. So, and then as I said, we are already at ground zero. We are at the bottom. We are at failure level. What's there to be afraid of? What's yet in? Even if we try, we didn't get it the first time. We'll try again. We learn from our failure. We keep going. We fast forward the failure. Is it not fail? No wahala. Let me fail. Let me fail again and again and again and again. And it is the failure that will be tired of me. And it will not say, it will not allow success to, the failure will even help the success to come, because it's tired of coming and it fail. You go, I'll stand up, you stand up and continue. Failure, they say, it's not falling down. Failure is staying down. So right now we are at the bottom. We stayed down. We've allowed us, we've accepted that failure. We need to rise now and begin to do the needful. Let's look around and say, who are the people that we can sent to the National Assembly? Who are these people that have competence? They have a lot of them. They won't participate in politics because, of course, they don't have money to go and waste. Are you going to be selling your whole properties, your everything to go and run for election? Is it business? So And there are a lot of people that know that if we cannot do this, so what we then do is that we will begin to, you know, campaign for them, use money for their campaigns and everything that they will need, and they will need to spend a lot, or they will need to even spend anything, then get them, so that when these people get into office, they will know that it is the people that got them, the people's monies, people's this. And if they run in there and they begin to do anyhow, we find a way. If we can recall them, we recall them. I know recalling is very difficult. If you can't recall them, it's only 4 years now. The next 4 years, we will ensure that they are not voted into office, and by that, people will begin to learn. So there will be an incentive for them to do the needful. Thank you so much for listening.